I think we're going to be starting any moment now, so we just need to wait until the software does tell me. Now, usually it starts with your before I realize, so this could be going live now. I don't know, but what I do know is that we're gonna be live any moment now. So yes, here we are. Hello, hello, everybody. Good evening today, Saturday, and our Saturday night live show. My name is Kenneth. I'm your host tonight. We're going to be talking about English lesson. Now, English has several different ways to be approached, and what we're going to be talking about today is going to be about visiting tourist attraction. Everybody does love going outside your country, and whenever you do go outside your country, there are several different type of reasons. A lot of them are either because you have to do some work. Sometimes it's because you have to do some studies. But don't matter what you do or where you go, you always want to do tourism. So visiting tourist attraction is very important. And today we're gonna see what can we do about it. I'm looking at the English. Okay, I'm looking at it. I really hope this is going live because I'm not 100% sure. Let me just double check. Mm. Are we going live or not? This is really confusing, you guys. I'm going to double check, yeah? Because you never really know with these things. Technology these days, it's beautiful, it's wonderful. It can be confusing too at times. But yes, yes, we are going live and we are going live and we have people watching. So let's keep going. Today, again, we're going to talk about tourist attractions in English because when you travel outside your country, there are plenty of things to do, lots of things to see, and a lot of it you can take a good opportunity out of this trip. That sometimes it might be paid by your parents, by your university or school, or by your job. However, if you do have free time, there are other things you could do besides your job, and this is what we're going to talk about today. If you give me a moment, I'm going to share the screen with our presentation. So we go down to business. 2 seconds, guys. We'll be ready. Oh, there we are. Yes, see? Visit tourist attraction in a foreign language country can be a highlight of your travel. Highlight is like the best part of your travel. Here are 13 tips to help you make the most of your experience. Number one, research in advance. Yeah? Do your research. Do your go to your computer. Ask for people who have been there. Go online. Um, you can even this is something that people don't do a lot. But if you're going to say Canada, you could call Canadian consulate in your country, in your capital city, and ask them, "Hi there, my name is Kenneth. I'm going to spend 1 week in Toronto. I'm going on work purpose or I'm going to study. However, I would like to know what else can I do during my time there for tourist purposes." And they will say, "Oh, well, by the way, if you're going to be in Toronto for a week, you can do this, that, blah, blah, blah." Ask the embassies. Go to traveling traveling tour company services and ask them, "I'm going to be a week in Canada. I'm going to be a week in London. I'm going to be for a week in Japan. What can you tell me? What can I do in my free time?" And they will help you because this is the job, but you have to do your research. Conduct through research on the tourist attractions, plan your visits, understand the local and cultural significance to enhance your appreciation. Important, yeah, very important. Tip number two, learn about entry requirements. So every country has different requirements to let you in. Some countries are easy, some countries are not that easy. It will depend of the country where you're from and its country's economy. It will also depend on the country where you're going to and the country's economy. And it will also depend on the diplomatic relationship your country will have with the country you're going to. Say, for example, uh, within European countries, Spain, France, Italy, they have such a great good deal that they can travel each other without having to have any document or any papers. You can just walk by. You can just drive all the way from Italy up until, well, I've done it actually. I have went on a car from Holland. I passed through Germany, then to Austria to end up in, well, Austria, Germany, and Italy. I travel all these countries without having to show my passport anywhere because what it used to be the old borders are no longer there. They don't use borders anymore because those countries has a very good standard of living, not very similar but very high standard. So they consider that they don't put every restrictions to each other, you know. Now, just to give you an extreme, we have poor countries in the world. I don't want to name any, but if a poor country wants to go to a country like Australia, United States of America, Norway, even Ireland, the country that you're going to, that the poor country's person is going to, will ask a lot of questions. First of all, you have to have a passport. Second of all, your passport must be valid for at least 6 months. Third, you're gonna have to go to the embassy. To be received at the embassy, you're gonna have consulate. So for the consulate to receive you, they will give you an appointment. So say that, okay, I wanna go. You cannot just go today or tomorrow. Your appointment will be ready in, who knows, 10 days, 15 days, 30 days. You go to the consulate and then they say, okay, bring these papers, a valid passport, bring your plane ticket, a reason of your travel, a sponsor if it applies to. I need you to show us how much money do you have to travel and what responsibilities do you have in your country in order for them to understand that you're not going to do illegal work. So see, the country where you're going to has the right to presume that you might not be going with the purpose you actually tell them. This is what they have to think in order to see whether you're being honest about your trip or not. Because you see, over the past decades, or I had to say centuries maybe, the men have traveled from one country to another. But lately, there are what we call tourism, criminal tourism. So what they do, this thief from one country to another, they fly, they go into the big city, they do stealing, and then they run away. So because they're expert thief and they disappear, police cannot find them, cannot track them. So to avoid this problem, what the countries do? Well, they install all these excessive amount of requirements to make sure that the person who's traveling where the country where is going, they are doing it with an honest purpose. They're here to spend money because this is what they want. They're here to study or they're here to work, but they're not here to steal. They're not here to kidnap anybody. They're not here to create chaos in the city. So for this reason, unfortunately, for these few criminals, the rest of them has to pay the price and pass through all these questions and meetings and passports and document and photocopies and this and that and blah blah blah, just because of this. So if that happens to you, no matter where you're from, don't take it personal. Be honest and gather all the paper they ask you. And if they don't accept you after all, and they don't refund your money that you pay, don't take it personal. Don't be frustrated. There will be always other countries to do whatever you're going to do in one country. I guarantee you, there will be another country where you can do the exact same thing or even get a better condition or a better deal. So, yes, make sure to the entry requirement so you can be safe when you get your documents or your documents your documents complete. And when you travel into the country, when you fly, you will have no problems at the airport because that can happen. I always talk about this. An immigration officer in the country where you're going to, they have the right to refuse to reject your entry, even though you have the visa approved, because this is part of their assignment. If they see something suspicious about you, if they think this guy or this girl might be carrying a bomb or something that's coming to do damage to our country, they can just reject your visa, sending you back to your country without any explanation. Or even if they do give you an explanation, it might not be the right one. So yeah, be careful, gather your papers, be responsible, but most of all, be honest. Let's have a look at our friends before we continue our set to the second part. Mhm, mhm. Oh, I'm terrible at this. I'm not really good at using this application. Yeah. So, mm. All right. Mhm. Use official tourist information center. Why? Well, you could end up in the wrong hands. Yeah. You keep you can get the wrong information. You might get wrong tips, and they can cost you money, or you can have a hard time. So, for example, in Thailand, they have proper authority, TAT, Tourist Authority of Thailand, TAT, Tourist Authority of Thailand. So these people is like an whole office, government office, explicitly designed to help you guys. So instead of running into an illegal one or into anywhere, you just go to these guys and they will help you. Visit official tourist information center to gather maps, brochures, and up-to-date information about the attractions. Staff at this center often speak multiple languages. Okay, if you speak the local language, it's great. But if you don't, this is what I'm here for, to tell you that English is a language that will always save you from any particular situation. Tour guides. In South America, we have this idea that the tour guides know nothing. Or maybe why will I pay the tour guide? I'd rather save that money. I do my own research. I know what I'm going to see, and I don't get my time wasted. I can be in my own terms, and that is fair. And I understand that of you. But I must tell you, a lot of the times, even though you think you're going to do the research, you might not have time to do it. And even if you do a great research, I don't think it will be as good as the one that is done by the actual local guy. And these people don't charge a lot of money, and they know the story very well. Just to give you an idea, when I was in Indonesia, I went to Borobudur Temple. I was gonna just go there And some of my friends said, get a tour guide. You will not regret this decision. I wasn't very sure about it. I was a bit skeptical. I look at them. They seems even a little bit dodgy to me. But I said to myself, okay, let's do it. I paid the guy and see the Borobudur temple is like a pyramid. Yeah. And we went into the first s- stair and he took me to the right. Halfway there, he climbed one stairs, he took me back to the left, and so on and so forth on the back, from the front, from the side. It took us so long to reach to the top. And he gave us such a rich explanation of the story, of the backgrounds of all these pictures, all these hieroglyphics, and why this was there. And if you touch this, it will be a lucky thing to do. And if you don't do this, blah, blah, blah. So much that I still remember until these days. This happened 2007, 17. It was around 14, 15, 16 years ago. And yet, still, up until this day, I still remember part of the explanation. And the funny thing about it was that during the time I was there, other people did take the same trip. Um, and they walk straight up until the top, get the top view, walk around and say, this is not so interesting because they didn't get all this tourist. Um, hold on a second, hold on a second. Just please give me one moment. They didn't get that information from the local guide. So it was a bit of a waste if you ask me. So always, if you are there, don't just get a random guy there because anybody can pretend to be a tour guide. Get a local one, a proper one from the tourist office, someone certified that will give you the right information. I'm sure it's not gonna cost you a lot, and even if it does, it's worth trying. Okay. Consider taking guide tours, especially if they are offered in your native language. Guides provide valuable insights and explanation that enhance your understanding. Mhm. Audio guides. Yeah, okay. So when I was in Edinburgh Castle, they have these little headsets and they have a like a tiny device, like a phone. You can input a code. So everywhere you went, every part of the castle have a number. If you put that number and you put the language, they will tell you the story of the background of what you were saying based on that number. I don't know what is like this today. This was back in 2001. So I imagine it will be much better now. But the point of the matter is that if you're going to visit one place, it is good that for you to download audio guides on top of what you're learning from the locals and from your environment and other technical research. The more information you get about your tourist attraction, the better will be for your own learning, for your own development, and for your own future. So here we go. Many attractions offer downloadable audio guides in various languages. These guides can provide informative commentary as you explore. Translations apps. Use translations apps to decipher information on plaques, signs, or written guides at attractions. This can help you understand historical and cultural context. Attend cultural performances. Very important. Um, see, check if there are any cultural performance or events at the attraction. This can provide additional insight into the local culture. See, if you do this, you can get the sympathy from the locals. So after that, you're talking to them and you come across and someone say, "Oh, by the way, yesterday we had La Fiesta de la Vendimia here in Chile." And you say, "I was there. I know. It was beautiful. It was very nice." And people will say, "Really? You were there?" "Yes." "Why?" "Because I knew about it and I thought it was interesting and I really, really like it." So the local are going to be, "Oh, this man is not just a normal, silly, stupid tourist coming to my country. He really cares for our culture and for what is going on." For that reason, it's always a good advice to join cultural events. Oh, respect the local costume. So you see, when you travel around the world, you're gonna come across a lots of differences within what you do and what people do. For example, in here, in my country, in Chile, we like to drinking tea between 5 or 6 o'clock, 6 o'clock in the afternoon. Many countries don't do that. They prefer to have dinner at 8 or 9 p.m. Um, there are several differences between countries and another. For example, in Southeast Asia, if somebody offers you food and you say no, this might look like you haven't been nice to them, that you are being rude. Oh, why you don't like my food? You don't think my food is good enough for you? So there are several culture differences that it's important that we understand. Just, if you don't want to look rude and if you don't want to look bad towards the people who might receive you, help you, or want to be nice to you. Be respectful of local customs and rules when visiting religious or cultural significant sites. Dress modestly if required and follow any specific guidelines provided. Very, very important. Oh, no, my mouse is not working again. Yeah. Visiting during off peak hours. Consider visiting popular attractions during off peak hours to avoid large crowds. This allows for a more relaxed and enjoyable experience. Yeah, peak hours and traffic is something nobody wants to deal with. A lot of people does it, like myself, because we have to. We have to go to work from home. We have to come back home from work. But if you're traveling, if you're having a holiday experience, you definitely don't want to be stuck in traffic or anything like that because traffic means time. And unless you have all the time of the world to travel around, you better make a good use of it. If you only have a few days in London, instead of being stuck in traffic, you want to be watching a lovely museum. So, yeah, many things like that. Capture memories responsibly. Yeah. Be mindful of photography, rules, and restrictions. Some attractions may have specific guidelines to preserve these sites and respect local customs. Why is that? Because a lot of people might not like if you take pictures of them. Some people might be happy or uncomfortable if you take their photos. And sometimes you see very attractive things. You think, oh my God, I will never see such a thing in my country. I'm gonna snap a photo just to keep it for my memory, to show it to my friends, to post it in social media. Reasons are many. But what you need to think about before you do that is the other person. How are they going to feel if I do that? I'm gonna give you an example. When I was back in Thailand, I went to one of those temples and I met some monks. See, being a monk is a once in a lifetime thing. It's about 9, 10, or 12 months when you shave your head off, you dress differently, you live in one of those monasteries, and it's an important part of your life. The way how they look was very impressive for me. It looked amazing, and some of them came to me close and they wanted to speak to me, and I was so excited and I wanted to speak to them. So I said to them, "Okay, can you please stand over here?" And I asked somebody to take a photo. And when I was gonna do that, they all ran away, and I was pretty confused because for me, if someone wants to take my photo, I never really bother about it. It's not something that really make a big deal out of it, but some people might do. So the best thing, the best advice I can give about that, just ask. Hey there, it's so nice to meet you. Is it possible? Can we take a picture, or can I take a picture of you? They can say yes, they can say no. If they say no, you just have to respect their decision. Okay, never mind. No problem. You just have to be cool with it. Understand that not everybody likes their picture being taken, and not everybody might feel comfortable with this. Ah, I don't have an image for this, but it says stay hydrated and take breaks. See, if you're coming from a cold country into a hot country, that was gonna be easy. Why? Because it's so hot that you're gonna get thirsty all the time and you're gonna be drinking water all the time. But if you come from a hot country into a cold one, it's cold and it's fresh, and sometimes you just forget. Now, how much water do we have to drink? For what I know, yeah, for what I read, you have to have 1.5 liter for every 60 kilograms in your body. That's it. Some people say it's a little bit more, some people say it's a little bit less. That's what I do, and you should too. If you are 60 kilos, drink water 1.5 liter, and you'll be just fine. And if you are in a cold country, it's likely for you to forget. So remember, make a technique, write on your phone, do something, make sure, buy the 1.5 liter bottle every day and carry it with you. So you know that before the end of that day, the bottle must be empty. Engage with locals. Oh. Close to 10 now, we're getting sleepy and we're about to finish this show today. Engage with locals. Just because you are different or they are different to you, that doesn't mean they're not people. They're still people. They're still curious. They still want to know about you. And sometimes they don't know how to do it. So, it would be nice when you just start talking to them and say, "Hey, my name is Kenneth. I am from Chile and I'm here for a week. Where are you from?" So they'll be like, I'm from here. And what's your name? And they answered, "My name is, I don't know, John." "Nice to meet you, John. And what do you do for a living?" Engage in conversation with them. Tell them about you and ask questions about them. Don't go too private because they might not like it. And sometimes they might ask you very private questions to you. So if you are okay with the answer, you can say it. But if you know, you just say, I'd rather not answer that question. Just to give you an example, when I first landed in Southeast Asia, I met with a lot of locals, and every time I spoke with them, they always ask me, "Where are you staying?" And because coming from South America, there are so many thieves in this continent, I didn't want to say. So I always end up giving the wrong answer. "Oh, we're just staying somewhere I forgot the name of the place. I always say that, I don't know the name, but it's not far. I was worried that if I tell them where I was, they might arrange someone to come to my place. I don't know, pretend to be my friend, come to my room, empty my, steal my things. I was so far from the truth because Southeast Asian people are so nice, and those things hardly ever happens. At least back in the 2000s. But yeah, this is something that you might experience, and you can always find a polite way to answer without getting to look like an annoying um, tourist. So see, strike up conversations with locals around the attraction. They might share interesting stories, recommendations, or local insight that enhance your visit. By approaching tourist attraction with a combination of research, cultural sensitivity, and a sense of adventure, you can create memorable and enriching experience in a foreign country. See? So yeah, this was our advices for today. What to do if you're going outside your country? What are the things you should consider if you're going to travel? Visiting places, talking to locals, hiring a local tour guide, and enjoy your time. Traveling is beautiful. It's a beautiful and rich experience you can have, but you have to do it in a safe way. Try to be polite. Don't let people take advantage of you. Never take advantage of people and enjoy your life. This is it for today. Thank you very much, and we will see you on the next